Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. And Wargaming just released the 1.18.1 test server, and well, there's a whole host of things that are available on it, like new personal reserves and the Onslaught game mode, which I'm probably going to cover in subsequent videos. Today, I was completely surprised, and that is that Wargaming just announced possibly what is one of the greatest changes in World of Tanks history. And that is that Sixth Sense, a skill which allows you to know when you've been spotted, albeit 3 seconds later, and was one of the biggest disparities between players, especially free-to-play players and people who are playing tanks for the first time. Everyone's going to get the Sixth Sense for free as a 0 skill on every single commander in the game. And I'm really happy that what I suggested 4 years ago of, secondly, players use things like Sixth Sense and Brothers in Arms and concealment, etc., etc., to be able to get an extreme advantage. And so I would go as far as to at least give every tier 1 to tier 3 tank Sixth Sense. Well, I'm really happy that Wargaming has gone one step further, and not just with what my idea was to improve the new player experience, but just to improve the player experience at all tiers. This is something that was really well received. One of basically the only features that was well received about Crew 2.0, and that is that Sixth Sense did come for free on the Crew 2.0 test server. But of course, everything else about that patch was, well, the ill-fated patch was absolutely horrific, and it's wonderful that Wargaming have either completely cancelled Crew 2.0 or it's going to have to go back to the drawing board so they can actually not ruin the game in the process. So how exactly will this free Sixth Sense work, as it has been given to all crews by default? Well, I hope that now that I'm on the test server that I'm going to be able to make this a little bit more transparent for you. So here we can see my commander for the Leopard, who is currently in the Kunzerpanzer. And we can see now that Wargaming actually show you which are 0 skill perks and which are just regular skills and perks on the vehicle. So immediately, something they haven't even mentioned in the patch notes is this is a great change. Previously, to be able to see whether a skill was 0, you'd have to mouse over it and then read that it cannot be reset to find out whether it was a 0 skill perk. Now you're clearly going to see which ones are 0 perks, i.e. ones that don't slow down subsequent skills from training up by a clear, distinct area. Then you can see that the commander feature is Sixth Sense, and this definitely brings up possibilities in the future of possibly having other commanders that maybe have Sixth Sense and something additional, or maybe Wargaming can add in additional 0 perks here. So on my Leopard commander, because it previously had Sixth Sense, when I mouse over now, I'm going to have a whole extra skill that I can assign to the commander. So from here I could go for firefighting, or I could go for something fun like Eagle Eye to be able to see when my opponents are damaged. But keep in mind, it looks like I've already made a mistake, because the way that the system works is it shifts down all of the other skills, i.e. like 1 to the left. And so the one that you will get as a replacement skill for your Sixth Sense might not be trained to 100%. So don't pick perks unless you're close to the end and then you're going to spend 250,000 free experience, or more likely use some crew books to be able to top up your commander the rest of the way. Of course, with Wargaming's new retraining order, then you've got more possibility of even retraining the commander for free, although you're going to have to use one of those retraining orders, and then being able to reassign all of the skills. This is going to take a tremendous amount of pressure off all of your commanders inside World of Tanks, and so it's undoubtedly going to free up a lot of slots for things like Eagle Eye, for example, or even some funky commanders like on the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, for example. On the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, the commander has extreme pressure because not only are they the commander, they're also the radio operator, and they are the loader as well. And so I, for one, have always wanted to have a little bit of intuition on the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, but have never been able to justify it because of how high the pressure is on the commander. So this is just such a great change by Wargaming. A skill which should be available for everyone is now going to be available for everyone. And also the most highly pressured commander slot, which clearly, or shall I say, the most highly pressured crew member, which has always been the commander, will now have a little bit of pressure taken off them. So especially light tank players, rejoice. Especially you Manticore lovers out there, that extra skill slot effectively is going to significantly help. Now, there are a couple of things to talk about with regards to this change, and that is, firstly, there are some very rare commanders in the game, like Julia Winfield, for example, who has Sixth Sense as a 0 skill perk. Now, Wargaming are not screwing anyone over with regards to this, because Sixth Sense for Julia Winfield, and also for, I guess, Santa Claus, or any of the other commanders where Sixth Sense is a 0 skill perk, you are now going to be able to choose an additional perk as a 0 skill. And I would thoroughly recommend for this one that you consider taking something that you're always going to want to have on the commander, even if you possibly move them from a light tank to a heavy tank, for example. And so I think that Recon is always going to be incredibly useful, so I'd like to take that as a 0 skill perk. However, that poses the question, what happens if I already have Recon trained and I select Recon? Well, for science, right, QuickyBaby? So when you train this as a 0 skill perk, and do you know what? Until they've actually made the icon larger, I never realized there was an eye actually in the periscope of Recon. Wow. Noticing new things with these higher resolution graphics here. Wargaming gives you the warning that after confirmation a 0 skill perk cannot be changed. 0 skills perk doesn't require spending experience. It also provides an advantage by significantly reduce the amount of experience required for further training of the crew member. Yes, that's the idea. So if I apply Recon now, we can see that what happens is that Recon got taken away from the skills and perks, and so now I guess that I can assign something extra. Maybe I'll take Snapshot, for example, so I've got better gun handling. So that really helps for high pressure crews like on the Manticore, where the commander's trying to perform 3 different roles, and also if you have any extra special crew members with 2 0 skills, then Wargaming have just made the system, at least in my opinion, flawless with being able to reassign skills to them, meaning that you don't have to miss out for any of your special crews. Another example of which a lot of you will probably have, although this is the this is the Russian version of Santa Claus, the test server still uses, I guess, Father Frost rather than Santa Claus, and he's got 2 0 skill perks. If you have one of those, then happy days for you. You're just going to get a whole extra skill for free. And once again, I must say, Wargaming, I'm really impressed with the system and the way that you've thought about absolutely everyone, even all of the sweaty nerds, because you know how much time we have poured into all of these crew members, and it's brilliant that you've created, from what I've been able to test, flawlessly able to switch the skills, and even to think about it so much that if I was to put Eagle Eye in here, it gives me a warning and then I confirm it in, and then it takes it out of the regular skills now, and then it allows me to get another skill without having to retrain. Just brilliant stuff, Wargaming. Do you know what this suggests to me? This suggests to me is that Wargaming have definitely put Crew 2.0 massively on the back burner, because they probably wouldn't invest into this kind of development time and being able to create these new systems if they thought that Crew 2.0 was happening anytime soon. And I, for one, think it's probably for the best. And what we can clearly see here is that Wargaming can create much needed quality of life improvements to the crew system without having to give us all of that pay to win garbage that they wanted to try and put in with Crew 2.0 additionally. And so I really felt like making this video today was important, not just to let you all know about this great upcoming change, and also to warn any of you, if you are thinking about either spending free experience on getting Sixth Sense on some of your crews that you're training up at the moment, for example, don't do that. Wait for the next patch, which should be coming in the next month, I'd say. But also, I think it's very important that the community will always dive on Wargaming and highlight anything that they do wrong and mistakes that they make. And I think it's also very important that we take time to praise them for frankly just fabulous changes like this. And when I saw it just pop up today, I didn't even realize that it was going to be this good, with having the Sixth Sense and the Commander feature, having clear defined 0 perks, and also being able to reassign them on your special crew, which you probably poured tons of time into. Wargaming. I don't have enough thumbs up to give you for this. Great stuff. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, it was a shorter video today, but I was so thrilled about this I really wanted to share it all with you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and you're looking forward to these changes. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated the video, give it a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments down below what you think about the fact that Sixth Sense is going to be available for everyone for free. And also, I should give you a little bit of a heads up warning that if anyone remembers that there is a crew skill, Increased Focus, which at the moment until the next patch gives your commander Sixth Sense for a single battle, it will still work, but what it's going to do is it's going to mean that Sixth Sense will be activated 1 second earlier. So I would also thoroughly recommend not buying any more of these in bulk if you were thinking about getting them, because I do that. I've been currently buying these in bulk for some of my crew members for my lower tier tanks where I just don't want to spend the free experience on. Don't buy any more of these. Look at me interrupting myself. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of these changes. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic and hopefully I'll see you soon.